Welcome back to 50 Greatest Harry Potter Moments. So far, we've seen everything from magic elves to enchanted buses and inflated ants. But the best is yet to come.
I can teach you how to bewitch the mind and ensnare the senses.
Oh, there's so many spells to think about, aren't they?
I put a spell on you. Because you're mine.
I'd have been terrible in potions, but if I could make just one, I would love the lucky potion.
Liquid luck. One sip and you will find that all of your endeavours succeed.
Just the lottery, just one Saturday.
At least until the effects wear off.
West Ham could have done with that in the last couple of days of the season.
For me, one of my favourite spells is the Levicorpus spell, where you can just levitate stuff and move it.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Oh, well done! See here, everyone. This Granger's done it.
Do I dare say Avada Kedavra?
Avada Kedavra!
I've said it now. I've gone and said it.
If I had one, I'd love to be able to do the Expelliarmus.
Expelliarmus!
I would do that thing that all adolescent boys, imagine. I would give myself ultimate power.
If only I had a wand and I could kill people.
The Dark Lord shall rise again.
Voldemort, the arch enemy of Harry Potter. This moment marks his first ever appearance in the flesh, as he is brought back to life, ready to continue his quest for world domination.
I love the way that Voldemort was formed, and you can feel the energy in the ground start to shake. There's something really gigantically terrifying about it.
Finding an actor to play Voldemort was one of the greatest and most important challenges that we had to face. Mike Newell said Ralph Fiennes is the only person who can do it, and I think we were all petrified that he might say no.
Well, I think Ralph Fiennes is perfect as Voldemort. I can't imagine anyone else now doing it. No, he's wonderful. It's Shakespearean. It's just fantastic.
One of the reasons that it appealed to me was this very uncompromising, quite scary look that had been designed or had been sketched out. And there were some versions where I was allowed to keep my nose, and then there was a big discussion about the snake-like slits that I think J.K. Rowling describes in the book. So without having surgery, they probably couldn't do that. So
he really relishes performing evil, and physically he's so impressive in the way that he moves, and yet so creepy.
Welcome, my friends. 13 years it's been, and yet here you stand before me as though it were only yesterday.
I think there's something quite serpentine about the way he moves that I love.
I confess myself disappointed. And now, please join me in welcoming the lovely ladies of the Beauxbatons Academy of Magic.
When Hogwarts played host to a wizard's tournament, one particular team sent certain lads into hormonal overdrive.
Bloody hell.
At that time we were going on about 15.
You know, girls were becoming quite a crucial part of a young man's life. And all of a sudden they injected some young ladies. Absolutely gorgeous, every single one of them. And they floated in like clouds almost and sort of wafted their way in. Naturally, every eyes on gentlemen were sort of pinned open. They were very beautiful. Some of them were French, which has added allure. That was a fun experience, that. I enjoyed that.
You're Bathilda, aren't you?
Here, Harry and Hermione are seeking the secrets of an old lady by the name of Bathilda Bagshot.
Let me do that.
But she proves to be rather more slippery than they expected.
The first thing was casting Hazel Douglas, who has this extraordinarily captivating face. I mean, you just can't take your eyes off her.
It was just the classic horror movie suspension, sort of, being built up to that moment that when it actually finally happened, you were ready to jump out of your skin anyway.
There were so many moments in these last two movies where it was just like, no acting required. I'm totally freaked out.
There's that moment where you think it's all over, and Harry looks over the end of the bed. Bang! It's back in your face again, and you just realise this is how far they've pushed Harry Potter.
I reckon that'll be Lady Gaga's next move. A talking hat.
Hogwarts' fabled sorting hat allocates first-year students to their houses.
Right. Okay. Gryffindor!
What's great about the Sorting Hat is, A, Leslie Phillips' voice, hello. Who else could do Ding Dong the Sorting Hat?
Hufflepuff!
They made a sensational decision casting Leslie Phillips. As who would have thought that that was the right voice to have for that hat? There's something slightly lascivious and something slightly morally off and questionable. And maybe the Sorting Hat isn't even to be trusted the way it talks.
No? Well, if you're sure, better be Gryffindor!
Hello. Who's this great noble hairy beast? No, not me. Meet Buckbeak, the hippogriff.
Isn't he beautiful?
I love the scene because the tentativeness of Harry at the scene's beginning and Hagrid's great pride in this creature.
Now, who'd like to come and say hello? Well done, Harry. Well done. Come on now.
We all thought when we first read the script that it was going to be, the usual guy with a stick and a tennis ball saying, look at the tennis ball, and then later on they were going to put the hippogriff in, but quite the contrary, they actually had this full beast and fully animatronic so it could bend down and buck its head up.
Back off, Harry. Back off.
This hippogriff is standing there in the woods, and mums with pushchairs were going past, and the looks on people's faces were priceless. And what was lovely was that you could tell that people were reacting to it, even though it's a machine, as if it was a horse.
If you go back to the scene on the ground, the hippogriff does take a poo. And it's those details that I think make it more real. Really, I think one of my favourite moments in all the Harry Potter films is the flight. The foot, the claw dipping into the water. Those little details which sell the reality of it. It's that sense of liberation, that sense of freedom, that sense of connection with the animal and the connection with the elements. So beautifully orchestrated.
This is a climactic moment in the Potter saga. Harry and his godfather, Sirius Black, are in a tumultuous showdown with Voldemort's minions.
Nice one, James!
when this happens.
The way that they slow everything down, all the chaos that's surrounding them at the time is just stripped back completely, and all you see is this nakedness of emotion from Harry.
It's one of those moments when you kind of know a bit of steel has entered Harry Potter's soul, and it's preparing him for that immense battle we all know lies ahead of him. That's another reason why he must defeat Voldemort and the Death Eaters.
But I wanted it to feel quite operatic. That's why it slowed down. And yeah, I wish I'd slowed it down even more, actually. And in hindsight, I wanted to sort of really milk it. I tell you who I really love in that scene. I love Helena. She's so wicked, you know, the way she apparates in, and the delight that she takes, both in the moment at which she kills Sirius, but there's a very telling moment as she leaves the chamber where she kind of just looks pleased.